because I'm not in the greatest of moods. All right. So anyway, peace to you. Anyway, here's the deal. Now it's April 4th, 2018. 50 years ago at this time, right now, Martin Luther King was sleeping in a Lorraine motel. He might have been doing what we do when we sleep. You know what I'm saying? But later on that afternoon, he was assassinated 50 years ago this day. Again, I repeat, at this time, it's 3 in the morning, whatever, you know what I'm saying, Eastern Standard Time in Memphis, Tennessee, 50 years ago, Martin Luther King was alive 50 years ago at this present time, until later in this morning. So let me start by saying, those of you that are tagged in this video, you know, thank you for what you thought was the birthday shout outs. I did post something on Facebook about 50 years today. First it was 50 years today. So people started hitting me up like it was my birthday. So I was like, wow, they're not getting it. Then my homegirl Monique, you know what I'm saying, you know, I didn't want to, you know, it wasn't anyone's fault. The way things are nowadays, the way things really are, I could have made that mistake too, because we become so individualized with the exacerbation of technology. So if anyone would have posted 50 years ago today, I might have thought it was their birthday too. However, 50 years ago today is April 4th, 1968. And 50 years ago, again, I even changed the Facebook post, 50 years ago today. So many of you out there know that I've been performing Dr. King's, the speech that he made famous, the I Have a Dream speech, which got him a Nobel Peace Prize. I even learned how to do it in Spanish, but that's another story. In the description box, you see it says Martin Luther King is 50, Winnie Mandela, James A. Davis, who I happened to meet. Shout out to Jeffrey Davis, who keeps his brother's legacy alive. And Winnie Mandela is an ancestor too. She joins her husband as of yesterday. But today, 50 years ago, Martin Luther King was assassinated at the Lorraine Motel in Memphis, Tennessee, after delivering the I See the Promised Land speech the night before, which is more commonly known as the mountaintop speech, but the proper name for it is the I See the Promised Land. But I'm not going to make this a long, drawn-out video. I just needed to address those who gave me birthday shout-outs. I want to let you know, each and everyone know that I love you very much, and it's the thought that counts. I was trying not to freak out because, you know, doing the I Have a Dream speech, which has become part of my brand, I take it very seriously, and not everyone gives a damn if I perform that speech or not. No one gives a damn. Not everybody. Some people really do enjoy me doing it, and I do it by memory. So when midnight hit, you know what I'm saying, at midnight, I was in the zone, and I'm trying to get to point A, point B. There's going to be a march later on today from the State Building in Harlem to Riverside Church. You know, I told Brother Joe Selman that I was going. I'm not sure now, because still at the end of the day, many of you asked me what would Martin think if he were alive today, and I really can't answer that. I do know that, in my opinion, the only thing that has changed is the exacerbation of technology. It feels like we're back during the civil rights movement, from what I know of it. Black men are still being murdered in cold blood by police officers, and these black men are unarmed, and cops are walking free. Myself, I know police officers personally. Some of them are great officers. and they are outnumbered by officers who apparently are not trained enough on how to deal with unarmed black men in this country. Everybody going, I don't want to turn this into a whole nother thing right now because you know I can go political. I was just needing to address those who thought it was my birthday today. You know, in a way, it is. I will be 50 years old this year. I'll be 50, if God spare my life, on October the 15th. Shout out to Lil Flo. All right, your mama's October 13th. All right, I see you, sister. At the same time, you know what I mean? It's like, people thought it was my birthday tonight by what I posted on Facebook, you know, with the 50 years ago today. No. I was being formed at this time 50 years ago. I was in my mother's stomach, and my mother likes to tell the story that she had to run out of Harlem because that was the last real time that New York went up almost in smoke, when Martin Luther King was assassinated 50 years ago on this day, April 4th, 1968. There's many people out there who don't know that Martin Luther King was assassinated 50 years ago today. Many people. Martin Luther King was for everybody. Black, white, male, female, indifferent. So, those of you who love the man's legacy, continue to love his legacy. Again, this video is to address those who thought it was my birthday today. I don't want y'all to feel no kind of way. It's the thought that counts. I appreciate y'all reaching out like that to Ron. Some of y'all like, Hev, I hadn't heard from in so long. Hev, where you been, man? You don't know I've been doing Martin Luther King, man? If I put 50 years ago today, I can only be talking about the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. So anyway, I'm going to try to get me some rest. It'll be a very tense day for me today. I'm just want to get to point A and point B. And that's what we all apparently need to be focusing on right now. Because you never know if you're going to make it home alive or not. Seriously. That's what I walk with every day. No matter if I got a book out, which I do. No matter if I perform the I Have a Dream speech. Bottom line, I have to learn the mountaintop speech the same way for next year. And that speech is 45 minutes. And you know, again, the name of that speech is I See the Promised Land. Yo, I'm just going to be tense today. People are going to go on like they're with their lives, and they should. But do know that Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King gave his life for us, and that's not to take away from any of the other civil rights leaders in history. And that's about all I got right now. Again, so I tagged you in this video, people like Jay Nash, what up? Brethren, thanks for the birthday greeting. AKJ, I told you I'm crying right now because I was crying over Martin Luther King earlier. It's not my birthday, people. Martin Luther King was assassinated 50 years ago today. I was being formed in my mother's stomach 50 years ago today. And she had to run out of Harlem, and she had to run for her life because she didn't want to lose the baby. My mother passed away in 2016. So now I'm living even more. It's crazy. Alright, folks, so thank you all for listening. If you don't know who I am Ronald Haynie. Have a pleasant night. Keep the King family in your thoughts. And shout out to Mrs. Coretta Scott King in heaven. You held your husband down during his life and way after. Peace.